And good morning, everyone. This is Meteorologist Greg Fields here in the Weather Center. Well, we haven't been on live here this morning. We're having some technical difficulties getting our signal out. So that's the reason that we haven't been on. And you've been watching Network, but we're going to cut in, kind of update you on what's happening weather and traffic wise as we are looking at some very heavy rain. And you can tune in on Facebook. We are there. Marielle is updating everyone on what's going on there. So again, while we're not on live here, we are keeping you abreast onto what's happening weather-wise here this morning on Facebook Live. And we'll have some updates here right now with what's happening radar-wise and the heavy rain that's coming down. And Tashara is going to join me here in just a moment to update you on the very dangerous traffic situation we have because of all the high water. All right, so let's get right to it here right now. You can see what's happening on radar right now. We still have that flash flood warning in effect for Dallas County until 6 a.m. right now. So we've been dealing with some very heavy rain overnight in Dallas County. That's pushing a little farther east right now, but we've been looking at estimates anywhere from 5 to 7, 8 inches almost in some places here with the rainfall in the eastern part of Dallas County. So we're going to be dealing with the runoff from that. So that flash flood warning goes until 6 a.m. Lots of high water in and around Dallas County, and we've had numerous reports of high water, closed roads, high water rescues, all of that going on here this morning. So you can see the flash flood warning. We'll zoom in on that area just east of Mesquite. Now that's pushing on into Kaufman and Rockwall counties from Heath down to Forney right now. That's where we do have the heavier rain that's coming down. So this could get extended, the flash flood warning, a little farther east out toward Terrell as well. And then a little farther south down into Ellis County, some very heavy rain. You see that's pushing over Rosser right now, moving away from Ennis. It was right down I-45, pushing on into Kaufman County right now. That's going to get on over toward Kemp as well. So a large cluster of some very heavy rain in that area. So that's Ellis County with the flash flood warning there. That goes until 7:15 here this morning. So the very heavy rain will continue in those areas. A little farther north, we do have a flood advisory for Denton County. The rain not quite as heavy, but you're still going to be looking at maybe 1 to 3 inches of rain in some areas from Justin down to the Texas Motor Speedway. That pushing over toward Denton right now. You're going to have some heavy rain in that area too. So that continues to move from west to east through Denton County. So that will eventually get out toward Little Elm and Aubrey. So anywhere you go across North Texas, we're going to have some very heavy rain here this morning. It has been a very wet. The rain's been coming down quite hard overnight, especially in and around the Metroplex areas a little farther south. And as we give you a broader view of the radar, you see how widespread the showers and storms are here this morning. So just about anywhere you go across North Texas, you're going to have some rain to deal with. And again, with the heavy rain that we've already seen, it won't take a whole lot to aggravate the flooding issues. And so we'll continue to have to deal with that. And that is why we do have the flood watch that is in effect until at least 7 p.m. this evening. All of North Texas included in that. So we're talking about an additional 2 to 5 inches of rain possible in some areas, maybe some locally higher amounts. So again, this is going to be a problem not just this morning, but throughout the day. Now, there is some good news as the rain should begin to taper off probably as we get into the afternoon. It won't be as heavy as what we're dealing with now across the area for that afternoon commute, but still very heavy rain out there this morning, and those showers will still be sticking around even as we head into the afternoon. So speaking of that, here's what it looks like on our timecast here. Even as we head toward midday, I think we'll still have some pockets of some heavier rain in and around the Metroplex areas a little farther south and east, getting on into East Texas. But as we continue into the afternoon hours, around 3 o'clock or so this afternoon, the heavier showers and storms begin to push a little farther south. So from Waco, Mahia, up toward Corsicana and Athens, it looks like that will be the cluster of the heavier showers and thunderstorms across North Texas. Still will be raining across the rest of North Texas, just not as heavy. So we'll still have some scattered showers around even for that afternoon commute. So as you're picking the kids up from school, still going to be wet out there. And then that begins to transition a little farther south as we head on into the early evening hours. In the meantime, look at the rainfall since midnight in downtown Dallas, up to 4.74 inches now. So as we've been talking about, those estimates are looking like they're pretty close as we've been talking about 5 to 7, 8 inches, even higher amounts in some areas. So over 4.5, getting close to 5 inches so far since midnight in downtown Dallas right now. Those temperatures, yes, of course, they will be cooler as we head into this afternoon with the clouds and showers hanging around lower 70s out there for you right now, upper 70s to low 80s over the southern portions of North Texas here this morning. So as you do get the kids ready for school, the second week of school across North Texas, we'll have drop-off, widespread rain and thunderstorms, a 100% coverage with those lower 70s out there. Recess and lunchtime, still widespread rain and storms around, so won't be getting outside today, that's for sure. And around 80 degrees around pickup. The rain chances do begin to taper off some, only about a 50% coverage across the area. It should not be as heavy as we come home a little bit later today, but you still want to pack the rain gear, all of the rain gear, the raincoat, the boots, the umbrella, all of that for today. And again, as we do have that flood watch that is in effect as we go through early this evening. All right, so traffic has been a big issue out there this morning with all the high water that we've dealt with from the heavy rain overnight. So let's bring in Tashara to talk a little bit more about that.
All right, Greg, thank you. You guys know traffic has been a huge concern for our weather map here, kind of overlaying our traffic map to show you all those incidents that we've been dealing with in and around Dallas County is where we're seeing most of those problems occurring. Again, most of you are in the clear as far as up in Denton, McKinney trying to get down into Dallas, but 35E in Louisville, that's where we're seeing one of our issues in Denton County. Tarrant County, your drive isn't bad, but we did have some earlier flooding in the downtown area. That has started to clear, so that is some good news for you. In addition to that, two problems that have popped up since the top of the 5 o'clock hour. North Loop 820, that's right at Lake Worth, has a couple of lanes blocked. As far as slowdowns is concerned, you're looking at about a 5 to 10 minute delay. Doesn't mean you shouldn't leave early, still leave early if you can to get to where you're going. In addition to that one, 35W northbound right at Meacham Boulevard, that one has traffic backed up a couple of miles or so to 183. So that one's causing about a 10-minute delay this morning. And don't forget, if you're one of those folks who try to take those side streets, those are having some issues as well as far as that puddling and flooding is concerned. Arlington Grand Prairie, your drive isn't terrible, but don't forget those construction zones northbound 360 right at I-30 that could lead to some potential flooding, okay, and puddling as well. Denton, I told you your drive time isn't looking bad. 35W as well as 35E getting down into Fort Worth, getting down into Dallas, not terrible, but again, that northbound side in Louisville, right at Valley Ridge, you are going to experience some slowdowns that way as you move from Dallas, up toward Louisville. Now, again, when you take a look at our Dallas drive, my goodness, you have issues all along I-30 east and westbound. Same thing, 35 if you're trying to get up into Dallas. I-20, a new problem just popped up getting past 45 as well. So certainly you're going to run into something depending on where you're headed to 635 northbound. Here's a live look at our cameras over in the Irving area, 183 right at Wingren. All lanes currently blocked this morning on that eastbound side because that water is puddling on the freeway. So again, those left-hand lanes is where we're seeing most of that accumulation out that way. So you certainly want to avoid eastbound 183. And early on, I told you I had coworkers trying to get into work. They were coming from Forney, some were coming from Mesquite, and it was just a hot mess trying to get in here this morning. So I-30 right at I-45, all lanes blocked on both sides of the highway due to that flooding. It's going to take some time. In fact, we just got off the line with TxDOT Dallas, and they're saying a couple of hours. So again, if you have to head into downtown Dallas, that's certainly an area you want to avoid and maybe consider some alternate routes here this morning. Other areas where we've heard of high water being reported, northbound Loop 12 right at 183, 35E at Victory and Highline. So if you're trying to get into Dallas, maybe going toward the Victory Park area, on the southbound side right at 35E, you are going to run into some flooding out that way. Southbound 75 right at Knox Henderson. You're also running into issues on Central Expressway. So again, several areas, and please believe this is not all the problems that we're seeing across the Metroplex. There are so many more to tell you about. As far as your drive times, you're coming in from Cook County to Dallas, I-35 South, Gainesville to Denton. It's going to take you about 27 minutes here this morning. Your drive also looking decent coming from Wise County, 287 South Decatur, getting you to Fort Worth is going to take about 29 minutes. That's a look at your traffic this morning. We've had a lot going on as far as technical issues are concerned. I'm going to send you back to ABC programming, and then, of course, we'll have much more a little later on during the 5:30 hour.